Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is a year in review, the January All-Staff Meeting. Thank you for taking the time to be here and get some updates on a few things that are in the works for the future, but mostly reviewing this past year and things that have been accomplished by the wonderful members of this department. So if you have any questions that you'd like to see answered, please use the Zoom webinar Q&A feature. It's located at the bottom right of your screen. And if you see a question that's been asked that is important to you as well, please use the thumbs up icon to upvote it. That way we know it's extra special and of particular importance to multiple people, and we can get that answered while we're all together. And then we want to make sure that everyone is staying up to date. And so always take a look at the E&T intranet site. It's constantly changing and being updated with new information. You can also find the latest and greatest in the E&T news bulletin in your email inbox, as well as the 5-minute briefs and then TV screens throughout the organization. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to our fearless leader, Tony Lucas. Take it away, Tony.
Thank you and welcome, E&T. Thrilled to be here with you today. This is probably my second most favorite thing to do in E&T. My first is attending the NEOs and meeting the new people as they come in, new employee orientation. So that's what I get to do today, is introduce you to some of the new faces you're going to see around E&T. So first, we want to welcome Xenia Chamorro. She's a project policy analyst and with the Mobility Planning and Traffic Systems Department. So make sure you stop by and welcome her. And then in that same department, we have Nick Efron. I wanted to welcome Nick. It's a really great walk through that department every day and see new faces. Within Fleet and Transit, one of our Bruin Bus Transit operators, Daniela Gomez. Welcome, Daniela. And probably, unfortunately, I don't take her bus anymore. We change the drivers around, the operators around from time to time, but Maisha was the operator for the bus that I take to work pretty much every morning. So welcome, Maisha Moore. And Melvina Oko, Bruin Bus operator. Also one of the, she was recently moved off of the bus that I took to work every day as well. Welcome. And then Samantha Tago, a new addition to our events specialist within our events office. Make sure you stop by the events office when she's there and welcome her as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tony, and welcome to all of our new team members. We're so happy to have you. All right. And so for anyone who may not know, I'm Gina Romero, and I'm going to be covering updates for central administration, or rather topics for central administration, a few forthcoming things, but also taking a look at what's been accomplished in the past year. So work on the 2024-2026 administration strategic plan has begun. So updates to this strategic plan have already been shared with Administrative Vice Chancellor Michael Beck. And the BPM team has worked with the senior management team to outline and update these 5 strategic initiatives for the upcoming fiscal year. So we want to make sure everybody is aware that these are our goals. So we want to eliminate vehicle mobile emissions on campus. We want to address aging parking infrastructure. We want to reduce the life cycle costs for university vehicles. We want to ensure that there is public transit available for all Bruins. And we want to work on the getting to campus experience, improving and simplifying that. So these initiatives help shape the work and the projects of our team throughout the next 2 years. Next up is that in support of the first initiative to eliminate the vehicle emissions on campus, the EV Readiness Project is entering its very next phase. So this work group is currently creating use cases to help identify needs and inform next steps on the project. And BPM has worked with multiple teams in the department, finance, MPTS, events office, and parking to create process maps for this and compile and document and share existing procedures here. And then lastly, from BPM, the Central Services and Customer Satisfaction Survey results have been posted on our intranet. So to view these results, please click on the resources heading and then select department reports so that you can make yourself aware of how we did. All right, so some reminders from Human Resources. We want to make sure that everyone is interviewing a minimum of 3 applicants for each career job position. You should also take notes for each interview that's conducted, and you can find interview materials to help you out with this process on the E&T intranet site. Go to resources and then go to human resources to help you out. And then we're also asking that you turn in all interview materials to employee services, and those materials will be kept for 4 years. So if you have any questions on this process or on resources and materials available for your use, please email hr@ts.ucla.edu. And I also want to call your attention to an email that just came out about mandatory emergency evacuation training. Came out on Monday, so check for it in your inbox there. It's via the LMS and it comes from EH&S. This will be due on April 22nd of this year. So please draw your attention to that and complete that in the sum total LMS. And please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or need any support with that. All right, also from Human Resources, we wanted to make you aware of 3 jobs that are currently being recruited for that are posted and available. So we have for Fleet and Transit Services, an auto technician supervisor, and then a part-time Bruin bus transit operator, as well as a full-time Bruin bus transit operator. So we wanted to make you aware of those. And next up, in terms of equity, diversity, and inclusion, the E&T Equity Advisors, with the assistance of the parking asset team, secured and designated a quiet and private space for team members who are nursing. This space is located in the Strathmore building in room 124B and can be reserved by reaching out to Executive Assistant Michelle Peralejo. And if she's not available, you can reach out to Steve Wayne. And if he's not available, we want to make sure that the room is available for its intended use. But if you need to use it, please use it for the duration of your meeting and then skip on out of there. And next up, in terms of the EDI survey, the Administration-Wide Equity Council, which was established in 2021, deployed its first survey at the end of this past year. Its efforts to create an environment where everyone can excel. The goal of the survey was to gather baseline data on where each administrative department is with their EDI efforts and to help identify areas for growth and improvement on this front. So over 5,000 responses were received across administration and the departments. So the Equity Council advisors are currently doing an analysis of the survey results to help formulate recommendations and next steps administration-wide. So thank you to everyone who participated in completing this survey. And next, I want to make you aware of a lab tour opportunity for our department. So you may recall that Tom King with the Blood and Platelet Center spoke about donating blood at our last all-staff meeting. And so now we have the opportunity on Monday, January 29th at 12 p.m. to take a look at the blood lab. So you can scan the QR code that you see right here. And if I move past it too quickly, you can always scan it when we email out this deck along with the recording, if you want to participate in that. All right, and then very near and dear to my heart, training and organizational development. So this past year, TOD brought Learn at Lunch offerings back. There we go. Topics included active shooter training and project management series and self-defense training as well. And also classes and workshops and different training opportunities were provided, everything from supervisor training courses on HR processes to e-learning such as Duolingo to learn a second language. This past year, TOD held multiple team retreats for various teams across the organization to help accomplish goals like team building, leadership development, continuous process improvement, and employee engagement. TOD has also worked with groups and individuals across our department to support professional growth and development through various channels, such as the Anderson School of Business Management workshops, offerings in-house, as well as offerings from UNEX and CHR, and even coaching conversations for growth and development. So next up, I'm going to kick it over to Robin Bell, and she will take us through some pieces that she has.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. So my name's Robin Bell, and I work in training and organizational development. I wanted to take a minute or two to reflect upon all of the employee engagement and recognition celebrations that we hosted last year. So let's start off with our employee milestone recipients. We recognized over 27 honorees that hit a 5+ year milestone last year. So each milestone recipient receives a monetary award, and anybody who has actually received 10+ years with the university, and of course events and transportation, is also celebrated at our quarterly E&T milestone celebration in our conference room. So this is a great event to attend because you learn a lot of really fun things about employees, where they might have started off with the organization. And then of course we, got to have food involved, right? So we have some light refreshments and sharing some great conversation afterwards. Now for our Employee of the Year celebration, this always happens in summertime. And so this is where, of course, we recognize our Employee of the Month recipients throughout the year, come up with our top 3 finalists for Employee of the Year, and then actually make the announcement on site and recognize the 2 honorees, one for admin and one for operations. So our operational Employee of the Year was Yolanda Luna from Parking Enforcement. And from the administrative side, we recognized Ashley Salcedo from Bruin Commuter Programs. So a round of applause to them. Of course, we highlighted them in our bulletins and all that fun stuff, but still like to celebrate our employees. So speaking of celebrating and bidding a nice farewell, we also have our retirement celebration. So those always happen towards the end of June. And we said goodbye to 3 of our fabulous employees that worked for our organization for, gosh, I think all of them were 35+ years. So we said goodbye to Pam Cedrone, Sarah Fays, and of course, Lisa Kerbling. So that was a great celebration that we hosted over at the James West Alumni Center. Now let's get to what I like to call the 2 larger events that we host, our summer celebration and of course our winter celebration. Now the summer happens in summer, and the last couple of years we've had it at Dixon Courts or Dixon Plaza South. And that's in the outdoor area, and we have a lot of free-flowing activities, anything from volleyball, pickleball, you name it, great barbecue. And you have the opportunity to kind of do whatever you want and be active, or just sit down and catch up with employees that you don't normally have that opportunity to. So it's a great way to spend the afternoon. Now, since we're just coming off of our winter celebration, I do have some photos I wanted to share. Man, that was a celebration, great vibe. We, as you can see, we had a really strong turnout. We were back up at Poly Pavilion Club. We weren't able to do it there for the last couple of years. I think actually pre-COVID was the last time we were there. Great venue. As you can see, the top center picture, those are our dip contest winners. So those were our top 3 winners. Congratulations, Kimberly Villarreal, for that fabulous spinach dip. You do need to share that recipe. And then the top right corner, that was our cookie decorating table, and then it turns into a contest. So lots of great cookies that, were creatively decorated. Bottom left, holy moly, we are a competitive group in a good way, of course, but Jenga was a very popular, we should just call it a sport. So we had 2 Jengas going, and I think we almost got to 40 levels this year. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, but rounding up, we almost got to 40 for sure. But the anticipation of watching people being strategic and anticipating that crashing of all of the wood pieces, it's a little intense, but in a good way. The center photo on the bottom, that is the end result of our human ornament contest. So those are the 3 employees that were decorated with wrapping paper, ribbons, bows, and all of that. So that was a lot of fun to watch. Bottom right, we had our 2nd annual pie eating contest. Rylan Luke, congrats to you. You were the top winner. Yeah, that was quite the experience to watch. Lots of good things came out of that, and you know, but it was a lot of fun. But Ryland, I have a feeling you might have some stiff competition coming your way next year, so you might want to practice, you know, in between. Anyways, let's pivot over to when we last met. Let's talk about our Employee of the Month recipient. So we're going back in time. So we're picking up right where we left off from the last all-staff meeting. So our August Employee of the Month recipients, we have Giovanni Rodriguez representing Fleet and Transit Administration, Courtney Obuehi from Parking Assets. Then shifting over to September, Judy Ponce, a very familiar face in our Employee of the Month recipients. She's from Fleet and Transit, and Shanice Aubrey from Parking Assets. So they are our September Employee of the Month recipients. October, we have Alex Newport from Bruin Commuter Programs and Michelle Miller from Events Office. And for November, Emily Serta, Bruin Commuter Programs, and Rick Knowles from Parking Enforcement. So huge round of applause to them for job well done, always making sure our customers get that stellar customer service, and, you know, always just pushing the envelope that much further. So we appreciate all that you do. Let's not forget about our students that we depend so much on and make us feel so old. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, so our Student Employee of the Month recipients, again, going back to August, we have Patrick O'Day from Bruin Commuter Programs and Angelina Northcutt from Bruin Commuter Programs as well. So those were August, September. And then for October and November, we have Cheska Torres de Jesus from our valet team and Linda Liu from Commuter and Parking Services Central Admin. So huge round of applause for their smiling faces, their hard work, dedication, and, you know, basically just, you know, helping us move forward. So I'm looking forward to all of the events we have coming up this year, so stay tuned. Our next event will hopefully be our milestone celebration, which will be this spring. So stay tuned for great information. Now, that's it for me. So I'm going to hand it over to Elena Chavez from Commuter and Parking Services.
Thank you, Robin. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elena, and I am one of the parking field operation managers for medical operations and offsite properties. Today, I will be providing you with updates for commuter and parking services and highlighting some of our key accomplishments for 2023. For Bruin Commuter Programs, as you know, with the closure of parking structure 18, BCP worked closely together with campus commute coordinators to complete the relocation of the remaining permit holders to alternative locations within campus. We also created the new electric vehicle parking policy and standard EV policy for space across campus, with the exception of structure 1. We implemented customer relation management tools, including PearDot and specialized groups, such as utilizing the Flex API to streamline process through automation. This resulted in labor cost savings and significantly improved the commute coordinator's experience. We also established the Parking Ambassador program for large campus events, such as basketball and commencement. There's also a new role that was created for CRM. This position engages in outreach events to promote all transportation programs. To name a few would be Freshman Bruin Day, UCLA Admin, Job Fair and Forum, Transfer Bruin Day, new family orientation, new employee orientation, new pass tabling, and many more. For parking assets and security and facility management, we added an additional level 113 level 1 chargers for parking structures 1, 2, and 9. We also completed several tenant improvement projects for E&T, freeing up space for actually student affair, basic needs, environmental health and safety, and also UCPD. We successfully managed parking and traffic for men's basketball season and including commencement weekend, which also provided, parking for USGA tournament. For medical operations and offsite properties, we completed the installation of the ski data parking equipment and offsite locations. This included the parking equipment for entrance and exit lanes and pay station machines. Once installation was completed, we reopened Hammer Museum in June and Gailey Center in October. We also implemented the SWEB ticket validation system for offsite properties. SWEB is a ski data web-based program, which is used to validate parking tickets. We also use it to pull data to recharge departments back on a monthly basis. This is kind of similar to how courtesy parking was arranged in the past. We also addressed the parking challenges at medical parking facilities, and we completed the installation of the wayfinding maps on levels B1 and B2, and currently working on level 1. Our focus was to get patients to their medical appointments in a timely manner, so we highlighted buildings, elevators, stairwells, pay station machines, so they can easily navigate through the parking structure. In addition, we also worked on overflow signage for both traffic and pedestrians from Joel Stein to Medical Plaza, and this was also due to the impacts of parking structure 18. Under administration, we hosted the 2023 UC PAC Transportation Conference, which brought together all UCs as well as 12 different universities from across the Pacific region, along with various vendors. This was to discuss relevant transportation topics and industry best practices. This was the first conference in person since pre-COVID, actually. We also successfully launched the All Hands on Deck program as well, with commencement 2023, the first major campus event where we held the policies and procedures were used. So thanks to this program, we were able to adequately staff our operations for commencement week, which coincided with dorm move out and also the USGA tournament. And then later they were used as well for dorm move in. We defined the CNPS priorities through 2026. And then lastly, Jonah is currently serving on the committee to update APO criteria and coordinating with experts within the organization. So we're looking forward to hear more about this progress in the months to come. This completes the slides for commuter and parking services. Now I will pass it on to Magali from Finance Systems and Analytics.
Thank you, Elena. Good morning. My name is Magali de los Santos. I'm going to be presenting the FSA. Starting out with finance, Concord General Refunds launched effective November 6th. All new general refunds must be submitted through the Concord system. This includes digital pay station refunds and any e-check or cash transaction refunds that cannot be issued through an alternative university system, such as Bruinville, UC PATH, Transact, or WinCave. Bruin Plus, UCLA's new Procure to Pay system, launched on January 2nd. Finance successfully resolved around 250 hold and incomplete invoice backlog. And lastly, the FY 24-25 budget will be submitted this Friday, January 26th. A big thank you to everyone that assisted in making this meeting this deadline. Now let's turn our attention to the accomplishments of the application development team in collaboration with the technology project management group. In the summer of 2023, the Commute All Access Pass program successfully launched. This initiative seamlessly integrated previously separate products across various agencies into a unified pass, serving all 7 commuter and local agencies. In the fall, a new fare-free product catering to all undergrads was introduced, the Bruin U-Pass. The student-oriented initiative received positive feedback, with approximately 19,000 tap cards distributed as part of the program. Significant strides were made to continue the progress from the 2021 approval of the gender recognition and live name policy at UCLA. Changes were made to receive both employee and student live names from Campus Feed. As a result, most of our systems now reflect live name if provided. The teams are diligently collaborating with Laserfish to replace the existing events online solution. Simultaneously, a strategic decision has been made to adopt Salesforce, leading to the planned replacement of our custom solutions to a Salesforce platform. Shifting focus to the IT group, some of the key accomplishments of 2023 include a network storage upgrade where the team completed a major migration to a new network storage solution for our systems that will provide better performance, a backup and recovery upgrade. In collaboration with a new vendor, the ITG team switched to a backup and recovery solution with robust security features, including ransomware recovery. Server virtualization upgrade. Most of our servers are virtual machines running on physical machines to improve efficiency. ITG worked with a consulting partner on a significant upgrade to this virtualization environment. Looking ahead, ITG will be working on a project moving from an outdated legacy network to a new campus network with better resiliency. This project will impact almost every device and system in our environment, and completion is expected in June 2024. To conclude, I would like to highlight some of the accomplishments of the analytics team. In March, the team migrated the Tableau server to ITS, reducing costs and enhancing user engagement. They have achieved, sorry about that. They have achieved over 8,000 views and 115 active users since the migration. In October, they developed a central code library for E&T SQL queries, streamlining analytics processes and reducing failure points. Throughout the year, they delivered over 100 dashboards and analysis, including key projects such as retirement risk forecasting, where Dylan Henson and Celia Chung identified and highlighted areas of E&T at substantial risk of loss of expertise due to possible retirements. The State of Commute report partnered with mobility planning and traffic systems and the administrative, marketing, and communications team. They delivered the 2022 State of the Commute report. A fleet 5-year financial model. Bo Zuzo created an in-depth model of the university vehicle fleet, including upcoming challenges. This model served as a vital source of information as the fleet department continues to pursue its role as steward of the university resources. In addition, Bo worked with transit operations to identify, visualize, and track key performance indicators for Bruin Bus. Daily Beat V2.0. Celia Chung and Dylan Henson created 2 new dashboards to illustrate events on campus from different data sources, thus providing a holistic view of all events both on a macro and day-to-day level. Lastly but not least, basketball revenue analysis. Tim Bañuelos worked diligently to provide timely updates for decision makers as future service offerings and rates are contemplated. Thank you, everyone. I will now pass it on to Nick Efron for mobility planning and traffic systems.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can see my slides. My name is Nick Efron. I am the principal transportation planner here in Mobility Planning and Traffic Systems, or MPTS for short. 2023 was a very busy year for public transit, especially the fall. We saw 2 student-led referendums pass with flying colors, both of which provided fare, free universal transit passes to their respective student bodies, the undergraduates and the graduates. The undergraduate UPass went on sale in fall 2023, and it will be around for at least 3 more years. The graduate version of that pass is called the Bruin Grad Pass. That began a 10-year run in the fall of 2023. On the screen there, you also see some past sales numbers from the last quarter, and in parentheses, you see the percentage of the student body that represents. That's a lot of passes out the door. So I want to pause right here and just give a really big shout out to everybody who helped make this happen. It was truly a team effort. The future of public transit use amongst our student population is really bright, and that's very exciting. All of our public transit pass programs are delivered in partnership with LA Metro. In December, Metro rolled out a new virtual tap card program for passes. So those UPass members or Bruin Grad Pass members or commuter all access pass holders, you now have the option to actually transition your physical tap card into the Metro Tap app. We're really looking forward to seeing how this works with Metro. It's a new program, and hopefully we see it actually translate into increased ridership now that you don't have to remember to take your physical tap card with you everywhere. Just tap your phone. So much more to come on this in this year. Maybe we'll have some more updates in the next all-staff meeting. Switching gears now, bike pun intended, to the world of bikes and scooters. Our team worked hard with Metro Bike Share and Bird on solving a few end-of-ride solutions. Metro Bike Share added additional docking capacity, sort of like parking spaces for bikes at the Gateway Plaza and Perloff Hall hubs, two of the busiest on campus. Additionally, our team worked in partnership with Bird to stand up some virtual parking hubs in some very popular areas in an effort to make sure some sensitive access points like the bike ramp in Gateway Plaza or the fire lane at the Ball Commons are free from stray devices. Our team is also implementing, as you see in this photo here, or installing freestanding scooter racks. We're doing this on an as-needed basis. So please reach out to our team if you see any locations that could benefit from this sort of light infrastructure touch. Our Earn a Bike program issued 143 vouchers. This is a program where one can, in essence, turn in their parking pass and in return receive a monetary voucher to purchase a bicycle. The UC system as a whole made it easier for anyone to purchase a bike, specifically an e-bike. Students, staff members, faculty are able to take advantage of these pretty significant discounts when purchasing an e-bike through one of the UC's preferred vendors. Again, please reach out to our team if you want more information on how this program works. All of these amazing programs plus more rolled up into UCLA maintaining its gold status as a bicycle-friendly university as accredited by the League of American Cyclists. We're one of 39 universities nationwide to achieve some level of certification. We are one of 6 to achieve a gold level status, so we are certainly an esteemed company there. So great work by Emily on our team and everybody else who helped make that happen. Let's talk about traffic and cars, everyone's favorite topic. We completed our annual traffic cordon count at the end of 2023, which is a daily count of all vehicle trips in and out of campus. We do this for a variety of reasons, one of which is to maintain strong, quote unquote, town and gown relationships. UCLA, we're the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Our neighbors really like to blame us because we're easy to point towards for increased traffic and congestion. What this cordon count does is actually shows that UCLA is doing its part to mitigate traffic and congestion in the surrounding areas. We did see a 3% increase in total vehicle trips from last year, but we are still sitting at around 85% of our pre-COVID levels. So really, we're doing a good job of mitigating those traffic trips in and out of campus and through the surrounding neighborhoods. One way we also help mitigate traffic congestion and flow and increase flow through campus is by working on a variety of streetscape improvements, capital improvements, and streetscape redesign projects, one of which is a Strathmore median modification that was completed in October. This flexible evolution of Strathmore provides parking and operations the ability to actually open a channel for left turns out of PS8. This is helpful for large events like basketball games. And finally, before I pass on the slide to the next presenter, just a friendly reminder for everyone here, the Cogen plant upgrade project that I believe we talked about at the last one of these all-staff meetings, those upgrades are, and that project is slated to start imminently, and we'll update everybody once we have an actual set date. But CEY South next to Reagan will see some minor traffic impacts, one lane in each direction. And that is the end of the MPTS slides. I'm going to pass it on to Raquel Santiago with Fleet and Transit.
Thank you so much, Nick. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Raquel Santiago, and I am the grant coordinator for our unit. And today it's my pleasure to present to you Fleet and Transit's year in review. F&T was named the #1 greenest university fleet in North America and #6 greenest fleet overall among public fleets. This award recognizes our use of alternative fuels, our EV and hybrid vehicle purchasing policy, as well as our green initiatives to reduce our overall carbon footprint. We've also improved our reporting efficiency with Geotab, our GPS provider, which has automated the process of measuring and reporting emissions from our internal combustion vehicles. Implementation resulted in a significant reduction in technician time spent on monitoring and reporting. Early detection of potential issues has ensured that our vehicles run efficiently, reducing downtime and maintenance costs. All fleet vehicles are equipped with Geotab's GPS units with features such as real-time vehicle tracking, monitoring employees' vehicle usage, identifying possible collisions and accidents, as well as running reports of idling, speeding, or harsh driving. Our internal partners can request Geotab access by reaching out to Myra Delgado or Riley Moore down at Fleet Services. Next, we'll talk about our partnership with Napa Auto Parts. Fleet Services now benefits from speedy parts delivery and optimized stocking of regularly used parts. We also have the benefit of eliminating $85,000 worth of parts responsibility, only paying for the parts as they are used. Moving on to grants and funding. This past year, we received a $250,000 award from LA Metro's Access for All grant, which funds projects that increase the availability of on-demand wheelchair accessible vehicle services in LA County. With these new funds, we'll be able to hire new drivers and dispatchers, as well as pay for some EV maintenance costs for the Bruin Access program. We also received a $750,000 award from the California Energy Commission's Energize program, which provides charging infrastructure incentives for zero-emission commercial fleets. With these funds, we'll be able to partially pay for the necessary infrastructure upgrades at the transit yard, which will then bring power to 8 new level 3 chargers. And at the end of the year, we also applied for 3 additional grants through the Communities in Charge program, which will help expand EV charging services for housing, UCPD, and Bruin Car. Speaking of Bruin Car, for those of you that aren't aware, Bruin Car is a service that provides transportation options for faculty, staff, and students for official university business. Bruin Car has been enhanced with a new kiosk at Structure 4, as well as new and improved key boxes at both Structures 4 and 8. The vehicle rental website Agile has also been streamlined and updated with new rates, which were adjusted last year to ensure that we could pay for all of the costs and that our rates remain competitive with other rental companies. We also purchased new low-speed vehicles, making cart rentals readily available on campus. And this is just a friendly reminder to everybody to make sure to book these vehicles in advance. In other exciting news, we also acquired 2 new flyer buses. These new buses are 40 feet long each and have a seating capacity of 40 and can accommodate a total of 50 passengers, including standees. On a full charge, they have a 250-mile range, which is really impressive. And special thanks to Tom Poveromo, our procurement specialist, for applying for the VW Trust Grant, which helped pay for the buses, as well as helping to retire 2 of our old CNGs. Tom also succeeded in securing their delivery before fiscal year close. The Bruin Access and Safe Ride programs have also seen some improvements. For those of you that are new, Bruin Access is a complimentary paratransit service for qualified Bruins, including students, staff, and faculty. And Safe Ride offers ADA-compliant evening transportation services that are also complimentary. Bruin Access is now fully staffed with 18 student drivers and 2 career position paratransit drivers. And both of these programs have been expanded to run until midnight. And finally, F&T's billing financial reports are now moving to the cloud. The Customer Access Portal, or CAP, offers a more user-friendly interface to better help our internal partners navigate the system. Those with access will now be able to run financial reports, view current vehicles assigned, and submit service requests online. CAP is set to be available in Q2 of fiscal year 2024. That concludes my presentation. Thanks so much for your time today. And now I'm going to pass it on to Monica from the events office.
Thanks, Raquel. Hi, everyone. I'm Monica Siasoko, one of the principal event managers at the events office, and I'll be presenting information for the events office today. Taking a look back at 2023, the events office has executed a total of 736 events for the university and external organizations. To break it down, our team issued 152 film permits for departments and film productions. We've also worked with 22 different brands that wanted to activate on campus. In addition, our office completed 74 external events, 133 department events, and 364 student events. The events office is committed to providing excellent Bruin experiences by assisting departments and students with their events. These events include Bruin Day and Bruin Transfer Day, which are welcome events for newly admitted freshmen and transfer students. We also work with UCLA Development to organize Bruin Family Weekend. Other major events we've managed are Fembapalooza, the All-Staff Social, Commencement Weekend, and multiple Welcome Week activities in the fall. Our office frequently works with major companies to create experiential marketing activations for the Bruin community. Recently, we've worked with clothing brands such as Romway, Lululemon, White Fox, and Halara. Other brands that have activated on campus are Feastables, Twix, Valentino Beauty, and Waymo. Throughout the year, UCLA has been a backdrop for commercials, photo shoots, and film shoots. A few examples of the shoots include Chubbies, Dockers, Forever 21, Burger King, Postmates, and the WWE tryouts. We work closely with these film production companies to ensure that they are filming at the correct location, follow UCLA filming policies, and troubleshoot issues that arise during the film shoot. Since fall quarter 2022, Powell Library has undergone seismic improvement construction. On the south side of the building, our office manages Powell Courtyard. In 2023, approximately 14 events have been displaced to other locations. In addition, our office is used to host 4 commencement ceremonies at Powell Courtyard. Currently, they've been displaced to ASUCLA's Kirkhoff patio. At this time, the completion date for the construction is still to be determined. Now that we've reviewed 2023, let's take a look on what's ahead for the events office in 2024. In February and March, we'll be working with Royce Hall to host the Annie Awards and Eddie Awards. Our office is responsible for coordinating the logistics of the event's red carpets, press pens, and post receptions. During spring break, we scheduled a film shoot with Netflix for a new television series. It will be an overnight shoot at Dixon Court South, and we'll be working with special events parking and parking enforcement for this project. Later in the year, our office will begin working with the Fowler Museum to host their annual Pie Festival, as well as welcoming Nickelodeon back for the Kids' Choice Awards in July. Planning for the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards has been a really exciting project for our team. The last time Nickelodeon was at UCLA was in 2010, and the Kids' Choice Sports Awards was hosted here in 2017. This is a multi-day event with activities at Poly Pavilion, the Intramural Field, and Wilson Plaza. Each venue will have 2 events office managers working with the client to coordinate their event logistics. Starting in the fall of 2024, the Wooden Center will undergo seismic improvements construction similar to Powell Library. Immediately following the Nickelodeon event, Wilson Plaza will be used as a temporary facility for the Wooden Center's activities and programs. UCLA Recreation plans to build a tent structure over Wilson Plaza and 3 outdoor basketball courts. This displacement will impact the annual events normally hosted at Wilson Plaza. We are working with our clients to determine where their annual events will take place once Wilson Plaza is closed for 2 years. In addition, the events office is excited to explore new opportunities with off-campus UCLA properties. We are partnering with UCLA South Bay campus team for potential film shoots to generate revenue for their property. Last week, our office started working with UCLA Asset Management to secure parking space rentals for film production base camps and large events at the former West Side Pavilion. In the fall, the events office is tentatively launching the new version of Events Online using the Laserfish platform. While our scheduler, Stacy Tate, works on launching the new EOL, the events office will plan to hire a part-time scheduling coordinator to manage classroom reservations. And at this time, our office has not confirmed the release date of the job posting since we are working on its job description. Thank you so much for listening to the updates for the events office. I'm passing this over to Steve for the Q&A.
All right, thank you. Hi, everyone. Well, it looks like there were a lot of questions answered during presentations. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and please sift through some of those questions and answers so they can be kept up to date. But if you don't have time to read them all, we will capture them in a file and post those later along with the recording of this meeting. There are some open questions, so I'll focus on those. Looks like one is being answered right now. Let's see.
Yeah, and
Well,
I can actually, I was in the middle of typing the answer for someone that asked about Structure 18, but rather than typing it out now that it's Q&A, I can just answer that live. So we actually just received word a couple of days ago that we've been greenlit to move forward with the repair of Structure 18. As many of you know, the delay surrounding that was due to the possibility of the new immunology center being placed on that land. But now that UCLA acquired Westside Pavilion, the immunology center is going to move there. So PS 18 now will not have to be taken down and will be repaired. So our team is going to be meeting with our engineering consultants, with the architect's office, and over the next couple of days and weeks, we hope to have a better timeline to share with the group very soon. But our hope is to get that up and running as soon as possible, because we know that parking space constraints all across campus have been impacted due to that. So I personally can't wait, but yes, we are, in a territory of good news right now.
all right. Thanks, Ray. And thanks to all those who submitted questions earlier as well. And Judy, Tom, I saw you were brave enough to attach your names to yours. So thank you. I'll thank you personally. Let's see. There's another question here. It says, will the transportation office ever move locations off main campus, since there is significant demand for room space on campus? So I don't know if anyone of our panelists would like to tackle that one live. I'm personally not aware of any plans to move any of our office spaces off campus or away from Westwood Village, but I welcome any other answers. Tony, I've seen you unmuted yourself there.
Thank you, Steve. I did unmute. If there were any conversations about that, I would be sure to share it. There haven't been. There hasn't even been any hint. Who's going to want to kick us out of this great parking structure that we're in? We are going to have some new tenants that are going to be joining us in our main facility. Most of you know that the EH&S, the fire crew, is going to be moving into part of our facility, as well as the security team in the police department. They're going to be taking over parts of that L. Once the renovation is completed in the 190 suite, you're going to start seeing the fire department staff come down here, and they'll unlock the door to the construction area where they got their materials stored right now, and we'll again get access to our gender inclusive restrooms. In addition, we partnered with the police and the fire department, EH&S, to have joint use of a locker room that's going to be built there. And what that really means is you're going to be able to, if you need, be able to change in those gender inclusive restrooms and use a locker in that locker room should you need that. But no talk about us making a move out of here.
All right, thanks, Tony. Clinton, I don't know if did you still want to add anything to what Tony said there?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. Just from the perspective too of the two offsite, well, the two off Strathmore locations that Fleet and Transit uses for operations, both light duty maintenance yard and the bus facility. I'll just sort of reaffirm what Tony is already saying too, that the discussions about any moving, there's nothing that's currently active. But part of the reason why I jumped in too is because I know in particular, with respect to the light duty maintenance yard, going back 3 years, 4 years, even 8 years, there's been some chatter about whether or not what we've traditionally called the fleet yard would move, especially given too that there's been a desire to improve the power delivery capacity to the hospital, and there have been some designs that show a new generator being built on the location of the fleet yard. that, you know, nothing more has really come of those conversations other than drawings and designs and such. And frankly, the last drawing that we even had, or the last design that we had of anything being built on the light duty maintenance yard, actually still preserved the functionality of the light duty maintenance bays and also our fueling station. So anyway, just wanted to raise that too. The improvements that are being done to cogen that were also just brought up in an early part of the presentation won't have any impact on the long-term operations of the light duty maintenance yard either. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Clinton. There's one other question here that was asked us. Now that IT has left, that's in reference to our E&T ITG group. Is there a mitigation plan due to any loss/delay in service for our system? So this is related to E&T IT's move to ITS. I'm going to toss this one over to Eric.
Sure. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, in response to that, we're working with IT services to create several service level agreements, SLAs, plus MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, on how they will support us going forward. That document's being created now. So that's going to be kind of like the baseline, the template for us and how we will work with IT services and the pod support unit in particular, which is mostly our IT members. So that's still sort of in the works as of now. The support that we're getting hasn't really changed that dramatically. There's a few nuances, but for the most part, most of the people that were in the IT group are still in the pod, what they call the pod support unit in IT services dedicated to us. So we'll let you know, keep you informed of the service level agreements and the MOU that will be created with IT services to ensure that we will have sufficient support going forward.
Okay, thanks, Eric. I don't see any other questions. Since we have some time here, did anyone else want to jump in? Any of the panelists want to jump in with any other comments or answers? Okay. Robin, yeah, Gina, you know, wrap us up. Like, unless I see something pop in here, I guess we can finish about 5 minutes early.
I'll jump in real quick, Steve, too. I'm just realizing I was typing a response like Ray was to the question about, well, in this case, to the one that said, will the new location purchased by the university be operationalized by transportation? And so I think the most recent new location purchased was the West Side Pavilion. So I know Ray mentioned that UCLA Real Estate handled the sort of purchase transaction, and so we're working with them and asset management to kind of see what help they need or how they want to handle their operations. I would say then for the question, so there was the person who asked the question also mentioned shuttles and buses. So I would just say from that perspective that we'll be working with, when I say we, Fleet and Transit team members will be working with mobility planning and traffic systems team members to kind of assess what the transit accessibility looks like at these different locations, whether it's West Side Pavilion or the South Bay campus or downtown. And to the extent that there is not sufficient service available to those locations, and or to the extent that connectivity between the campus locations is required, we'll certainly look into what those options might be. I would say downtown, it's so well served by public transportation. We're going to have that D-line link by heavy rail subway that, boy, there's not much we need to do there. In terms of West Side Pavilion, there are existing bus services connecting main campus to there, but we'll certainly need to take a look at graduate student complexes, because there probably are graduate students living in Weyburn Terrace or University Village, et cetera, who will be working in the new laboratories there at West Side Pavilion. So we'll see what's necessary. And South Bay, boy, that's a hard one, just because it's kind of off on the top of a mountain Sure is beautiful, but those windy roads up there, we'll just, we need to see what the planned usage is for that campus before we make any decisions about advocating for additional public transit service. But that's probably going to be the best way to access it, is through the existing public transportation systems that are down there, whether it's Torrance Transit or the Rancho Palos Verdes Transit Authority. But yeah, it's still not certain exactly how many classes are going to be there. They do have a little residential area, so that is something that we'll need to consider. The residential area for that campus is about, I think, like 1.5 miles away from campus, so there will need to be some connectivity in that regard. So thank you.
Thanks, Clinton. Okay, yep,
All
still
right,
no other
wonderful.
questions. Take it away, Gina.
All right, wonderful. I'm gonna go ahead and stop our recording.